Now in this video, we're going to talk about how to write an academic conclusion. Okay, how to write a conclusion for your academic essay. Now after you've written your brilliant introduction and you've developed the body of your essay and you know it's good, it's time to write the conclusion. And that also sometimes is a little tricky because sometimes students don't know how to end. So in today's video, I'm going to show you a few strategies that you can follow to ensure that you don't just leave your essay high and dry, or you don't just hang. But I'm going to show you what you can do to make your conclusion smooth and easy and a pleasure to read. Because that's what we want, right? We want to ensure that at the end, we leave the reader, moi, or any academic audience thinking, wow, I got it. I agree. Or at least I think you wrote brilliantly. So let's look at what to do in your conclusion. Okay, so we know that the conclusion is the final paragraph in any essay. And once again, and as usual, all of this information is coming from the textbook, Writing Academic English. Okay, so the conclusion has three purposes. The first is to signal the end of the essay. The second is to remind the reader of your main points. And the third is to leave your reader with your final thoughts on the topic. So, like I said, the first purpose is to signal the end of the essay. And you do so by first beginning with a transition signal. You know, you can say something like all in all, or in brief, or in short, to conclude, to summarize, in conclusion, in summary, for these reasons. Now, students sometimes tell me that it sounds stilted, so find the one that works for you. But you must make your reader know that you've finished your discussion and now you're about to conclude. So if you don't like any of these signals and you can find a signal that works, do it. But you have to have a transition signal. You have to. Now, in addition to signaling the end, it is also supposed to remind your reader of your main points. And you can do this by summarizing your subtopics or by paraphrasing the thesis. Don't write it the way you wrote it in the introduction, but find some new words that keep the same meaning, of course. And the third purpose is to leave your reader with your final thoughts. And this is where you want to ensure that they got the message, the overall message, and you want to find a way to reinforce your final thoughts or reinforce your message. Now, here are some strategies or techniques that you can use. Now, after using the transition signal that indicates that it's the end, there are many strategies that you can use, but I'm only going to be showing you 4 strategies which you can use. And once again, these are all coming from Writing Academic English, the Longman series. So you can either make a prediction, or you can suggest results or consequences. You can also suggest a solution, or you can quote an authority on the topic. A quick Google search can show you some more strategies. I'm only showing you 4. So the first one is where you make a prediction. And this is an example of what a prediction looks like. We have seen how the costs of attending college have been rising, while at the same time, sources of financial aids for students have been disappearing. If this trend continues, fewer and fewer families will be able to send their children through 4 years of college. That's a prediction. You can also suggest results or consequences, like this example. To sum up, the costs of attending college are up and financial aid for students is down. fewer and fewer members of the workforce are able to educate themselves beyond high school. As a result, the nation will waste the intelligence, imagination, and energy of a large segment of the present college-age generation. So here you see they're telling you what could be the result. So we can imagine what they discussed earlier on in the essay, and now they're saying this is the possible result or consequence that we will see. You can also suggest a solution or make a recommendation or call for action. And here's an example. It is clear that the US system of higher education is in trouble. For many students, 4 years of college is no longer possible because of increasing costs and decreasing financial aid. To reverse this trend, we must demand that government increases its financial support of colleges and universities and restore financial aid programs. Our future depends on it. And then there's also another strategy, which is when you quote an authority on the topic. And here's an example. In conclusion, costs are rising and financial aid is declining, with the result that many can no longer afford to go to college. If our nation is to prosper, increased government funding for education is essential, even if it requires higher taxes. As Horace Mann argued in his 5th annual report, a nation's economic wealth will increase through an educated public. It is therefore in the self-interest of business to pay the taxation for public education. Okay, so I hope that helps. And I hope that when you write your essay or speech, because this is very appropriate if you're even writing a speech, but when you're coming to the conclusion, you never just want to leave. Especially if it's a speech, you never ever want to say something like, that's it, okay, I'm done. You want to bring it to a natural close. Now you have 4 strategies that you can use to ensure that your essay or speech ends on a high. So try one of these the next time you write your essay or your speech. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.